Alright, French Schooner back again. You can tell your boy is a noob to this streaming thing as it stands. Don't know what happened with the stream there, but it went down. But there were a few of you in there. Big up yourselves, everyone watching, everyone who liked. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it going from where I was. I was trying to do the match ratings, so let's just have a quick look at the lineups here. Yeah, Martinez. Let's give Martinez six. We'll go straight down the middle. He gets a six. A six because he probably couldn't have done too much better with the goals. I do feel one of them maybe he could have got up a little bit quicker off the ground, but you're not going to hold it against him. So a six seems fair. Distribution was all right. Bellerin, we'll give him a six again. Yeah, Bellerin wasn't amazing to be fair. He had some decent balls, but really and truly overall, he didn't see a lot of Pepe's runs. The final ball wasn't really there. We're kind of relying on him a lot, but he's coming back from injury, so it's all forgivable. Six for Bellerin. Mustafi, Goat Staffy. I was sure we would get a clean sheet with Mustafi, man. Every time Mustafi plays, we usually get a clean sheet. Don't know what happens there. Don't know what went wrong. But yeah, no clean sheet, which means Mustafi. You know what? He was about though. I'm gonna give Mustafi a seven. He was a bright spark still. Holding seven. I don't think any of the goals were really the midfielders' faults. I feel like it was sorry, it wasn't the defenders' faults. It was the midfielders' faults. It was the CMs rather than the CBs. Tierney assist for the first goal. Tierney gets an 8. Tierney was positive the whole time, ran his socks off, got cramps, and just had a great show overall. So Tierney will give him an 8. Torreira being played more forward than I like. Wasn't making a huge impact on the game, but was getting about putting in work. 7. Willock came off, only played a half, wasn't a good half. Have to give Willock a 4, really and truly. Maitland now, same thing. Wasn't good enough. Had to come off. Wow, he was really bad actually. Willock was better than Maitland Niles. So if I give Willock a 5, I'll give Ainsley Maitland Niles a 4. Smith Rowe in the center, the cam role. He played quite well actually. I thought he played very well. He was making some great runs, some nice touches on the ball. He's a quality youngster. You can see that. He's just come back from an injury as well. Messed up a chance as I remember, but overall I think he was quality. I remember when he spanned one man on the edge of the box and got past another. Yeah, he had a good game still. Smith Rowe, we'll give him an 8. We'll give him an 8. Martinelli, 9. Martinelli straight 9, man. Martinelli was very solid, fantastic run, scored the first goal. How is he scoring all these headers when he's that short? Like, it doesn't make sense. If you're on the football index thing, put some money on Martinelli, because I did, and I'm happy I did. He's paying off right now. He's looking good. Martinelli 9. Lacazette came off. I have to probably go down the middle and give him a 6. He wasn't really getting many shots on target. His crosses weren't working. Nothing was really coming off for him, but he was putting himself about, trying to hold up the ball as best he could. He was putting in work, but wasn't really coming off. So I'll give him a 6. Substitutions, we got Ceballos. Came on at halftime along with Guendouzi. I think they made the game better. They grew into the half and they improved the game for us. They kind of gave us a bit more dynamism and control of the midfield on the ball going forward. It helped that they sat back, which gave us more kind of room to play a little bit, and that's what these kind of guys thrive off. But there were a few bits. I remember Ceballos doing some really intricate footwork along with Pepe in the bottom right of the pitch near the end of the game and playing us out from the back. I'm not sure if that ended up leading to a free kick that we scored off or not, but it definitely turned into an attack. So Ceballos was effective on both ends to a degree. Definitely a guy who should be playing deeper. As an 8 at the highest, I don't get why we're talking about him replacing Ozil as a 10. That's not going to happen. He's not a 10. But as an 8, he did very well. So I'll give the 8 and 8. Makes sense. Guendouzi, 8 as well. He made some great runs. I think he got fouled for the last goal. Yeah, I think that's right. I think Guendouzi drove in and got fouled for the last goal. ML Comps, shaky performance all round. bro, you don't know how ready I was to go in on these guys. I don't know if you saw the halftime reaction. I put that up earlier, and that was 2-1 at the time. And boy, I said at that point, unless we win 6-2, unless we win very convincingly, the win ultimately doesn't matter any more than just getting out of this group stage. Because, like you say, the whole performance was really kind of sackable, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Edwards, Tottenham, ex-Tottenham youth player, didn't even get onto that. Wow. What are the odds? That's the kind of stuff that's just written in the stars. He had a little extra boost because of that. Yeah. Listen, what are you gonna do? That he took his chance. He can't. I don't even know who to blame for that one, really and truly. I think the midfielder lost the ball to let them have the attack, and that was where the main mistake came from. Everything else was consequential. He took his chance well. But yeah, hate it had to be him. Hate it had to be a Tottenham player. But yeah, Guendouzi gets the 8, and Pepe, have to give him a 10. You have to give Pepe a 10, with the caveat that he played 15 minutes. Um, he won the game, so there's nothing more to be said there. The man has been getting under a lot of pressure, got hooked unfairly in the last game, and he showed some serious mettle to come back and score those 2 free kicks. So Pepe gets a 10. So that's the match ratings. We were open too much. There were too many gaps on the wings, have to be more compact. I completely agree. And what's upsetting about this is that we have 3 of the 4 defenders in this team who are meant to come back and save us, So this was meant to be, holding Tini and Bayardin were meant to come in and solidify us defensively, and you're not seeing it at all. And this goes back to what a lot of people have been saying, that it's not about personnel, it's about the coaching. I don't know what you guys think on Emery, but for me, the win doesn't save him at all in my eyes. I think in terms of the board, I think in terms of his having his job or not, I think it does probably save him. It does buy him a little bit of time, because you can't really sack a man right after a win. That's not really how Arsenal have done things. So we traditionally give guys too much time. But nevertheless, the performance was there for everyone to see. If not for, again, hero ball and individual brilliance, we lose this game. It was not a tactical comeback. Put on your only player who can get you goals in Nicolas Pepe. That's not like a genius substitution. Not having Aubameyang on the bench, who's the only other player who's been scoring, you could argue that was, well, not really that short side, because it's Europa League and we can get through anyway. But, putting on Pepe wasn't like a stroke of genius or anything. So that doesn't save him. So really and truly, I think Emery's still under a huge deal of pressure. I think Pepe's just kind of turned the light off of him just a little bit and onto himself, which big up himself for that. Another comment from ML Comps here. Too many players lost the ball at dangerous times. Bayern was shaky on the ball, put the team in danger at times. The midfield wasn't great either. Both of their goals were our mistakes in midfield. Yeah, completely agree. Again, yeah, very, very good point. Both of the goals were from mistakes in midfield, from Willock and Ainsley. You have to say Willock is a very young man. Ainsley, not so young. I mean, he is young, but in terms of Premier League experience now, he's had over a full season in the Prem starting, right? So he should be not making those kind of the mistakes, especially because he's been playing as a defender. So it's a bit of a sticky situation for Ainsley now. He's been claiming he wants to play further forward because he hasn't been working out as a defender. And we put him further forward and he's not performing. So you have to ask, well, where do you play? Where are you going to be good? Has he been already sort of had his growth stunted by being a bit of a utility player, which isn't his fault, wanting to be available, that's not his fault. But then he said himself he doesn't like playing as a defender, so he's kind of cut that option off to himself. So it's a situation where we'll have to see with Ainsley, but it's not looking fantastic for his options right now. If a new coach comes in, that could all change, as we know. With Willock, he's not had a great form recently, but he started the season so well that for me, he's got quite a bit of credit in the bank right now. Not that Ainsley doesn't, but I do think Willock is still looking quite promising, quite bright. So I'm willing to give him a bit of time, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts again in the same kind of position in a Europa or even a Prem game. ML Compson in the comment, big up yourself, man. Appreciate you putting your opinion in. Anyone watching or live or after, please write down your comments. I'll make sure I read all of them and get back to all of you. Let you know what I think. It's good to play the youngsters at times. Don't think they're all ready for European football. Experience over youth for me. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that to a degree, because I think what we're kind of guilty of at times with Emery is putting too much emphasis on the youth in terms of we're just trying to treat them like they're fully grown players and just put them out there and just like win us the game. They're not being put into an existing structure. I don't know if they all know exactly what their roles are, what they're meant to be doing, and so that's worrying, because that can prevent a young player from developing properly if they're not coming into a good structure that's working for the players around them. But to me, that's more of a coaching issue than a philosophy. Like overall, um, you could say Chelsea been putting a lot of youth. Yeah, they might have a bit of experience more than us because they've been out on loan, but they're playing in the Champions League and getting results against Ajax and Leo, who are no mugs. So youth can do it. They can pull through with the right system and the right structure and a bit of luck, of course, as well. But we shouldn't be relying on them or treating them like experienced players. They need to have that structure around them, otherwise they won't thrive. Big up everyone watching. Anyone who's got any opinions on the game, Unai Emery, what are your thoughts on him? Should he still be here next season, or even after the transfer window, or before the next transfer window? Man, you can see I'm kind of made my mind up at this point. I don't think he can save us. I want him to. I think he is capable of turning it around, but I don't think he will. And I definitely don't think he's the option going forward. So at a certain point, you ask yourself, when do we make the decision to pull the trigger and bring in the guy who is the one to take us forward? A couple more comments from ML Comps here. Martinelli had a decent game, showed passion and fought well for each ball. But we need that from every young player, which is something that our team lacks. No, not even every young player, every player. I agree. Well, that's one thing young players give you, is they will usually spend a lot more energy just running around because they really want to impress and they want to show up, and they'll run through brick walls for the manager. So yeah, Martinelli, fantastic energy shown from the young Brazilian. I was really impressed with him. Um, I would say Lacazette does that a lot. He runs around a lot. He showed great passion in this game. He was shit hours in. He got that yellow card for one of their defenders, which I thought was great shit housery. So Lacazette is another one who shows passion for me. I think Guendouzi shows passion, yeah, when he's put under pressure, but he can also be a bit too lackadaisical on the ball, a bit too relaxed, a bit too chill. So he's finding that balance. Torreira is another one who does try and always go for that first and second ball. And I would say Tierney has been showing promising signs of that as well, but we haven't seen enough of him. So I would say there's a few players with that kind of fighting spirit, but I agree that there's not enough of it. There's not enough of it, and certainly not in the experienced players. It tends to be the younger ones. We're not, who we're not seeing it from? Someone like a Granit Xhaka or a Sead Kolasinac. Some of these more experienced players, they're not showing that kind of drive to get to every single ball, or maybe they want to, but they're just not physically mobile enough to do so. One or the other. MLCom says Unai out at the end of the season. You think the season is enough for him? I hear that, but then what happens if we continue this inconsistent run of form, and then by Christmas we're not? Let's say by Christmas we're 4 points off of top four. Personally, I don't necessarily think the manager will get rid of him, but for me, that's not good enough at all. That's not progress. We've not gone anywhere if that's the case. So you got a dip, son, and you got a dip before another manager is unable to salvage the season. Freddie interim, I don't know enough about him, but he did very well at our youth setup, and people say that he was running the last few games, and he wasn't there in this game. I didn't see Freddie on the sideline. Not saying that's why we didn't, dominate as much as we could have, but he wasn't there. At the end of the day, it's a win, so you have to be happy with that. That was going to save me a lot of embarrassment, a lot of banter from my friends. But It's not a very it's not convincing in the slightest. In fact, it's not convincing in the slightest. So yeah, we got a lot of hesitation over it. But listen, big up everyone who's watched. Been a lot of people coming in and out. Big up all the gooners. French gooner here. Yeah, big up ML Comps. Another comment from you. If by January we're not in top four, unite out. Well, yeah, completely agree with you there. That's what I'm saying as well. So I think end of the season, if we are in top four, I think he probably still has to leave unless our identity is radically different and all of a sudden it's beautiful football, which I don't think is going to happen. I heard in another podcast someone say, when someone shows you who they are, believe them, and that is what has happened. He's shown us who he is, and I believe him, and I don't like it. So yeah, for me, he's out either way. And if he's not in top four at Christmas, you gotta go. You gotta go. It also depends on cut runs, says Emma Comps. Well, yeah, I suppose to a degree, but for me, the Prem is far more important. For me, the Prem is where you make your name. That's where you live or you die. Like Europa League would be great to win it, but I think we need to make top four. I think our team is good enough. Our squad is good enough. The question is really, is our manager good enough? I think we can compete. Certainly with Leicester and Chelsea. Like that's our opposition right now for top four. Obviously, there's United and Tottenham as well. They'll come into play. Well, Tottenham probably will. I don't know about United, but in any case, I think we should be getting ahead of all of those teams. I think our squad is better than all of those squads. Our 11 is maybe you could argue Leicester. Yeah, you could argue Leicester. They've probably got 5 players that get into our 11, but in terms of squads, I think obviously we've got more depth. So I do think that it's more important to do well in the Prem. I'm not so convinced, but that's your opinion, mate. I'm completely entitled to it, of course. For me, it doesn't matter what you do in the cups, bro. If you're not getting that top four, you gotta go. You gotta go. And I'm already just so kind of disappointed with the lack of identity and the lack of chance creation. Well, we're just boring and we're not even defending well. And then when you combine that with not winning, which is going to happen, if you're not defending well and not creating enough chances, it's not good enough. Another couple comments here from ML Comments. Big up yourselves, guys. Anyone else who've got any opinions, post them and I will read them all out. Not going to leave anyone hanging. If we're playing for Europa League and guarantee Champions League spot, maybe he's good, but depends on how we play. Completely agree with that as well as how we play. I think that's the key part there. That's the real salient detail there is we need to be playing to a certain quality. If we're not doing that, get top four, scrape it through. Well done, pat on the back. No one's gonna hate you because you got a Champions League. We'll be happy, but get out the door. Anyway, that's been me, French Screwnook. We've done 18 minutes. That's my longest video so far. Big up everyone who's been watching, man. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Obviously, I'm a new channel, started just the other day. So everyone who's rocking with me, you're here from the beginning. You get me? We're gonna build something, and really and truly, I'm just enjoying it. So thank you for engaging, and yeah, French Schooner out. Live for the Prem game. What to watch along? I will do a live stream. I will do a live stream before and after. I don't know about a watch along. I don't know about a watch along because, yeah, we'll see, innit? We'll see. I guess if enough people want it, bro. Like, big up yourself for asking as well. I'll definitely do one before and after. If a few people want a watch along, then yeah, I'll do a watch along straight up. Maybe I'll invite like a friend or two round, so maybe it'll be a bit more interesting, so they can have some discourse on the screen, innit? But yeah, definitely do a live stream before and after all the Prem games. So yeah, man, subscribe, turn the notifications on if you want to be involved in the live streams. I think that's how you know when they pop up. And yeah, man, we'll engage, we'll chat about what's going on with the club. Big up yourselves. Thank you for watching. Big up yourself, ML Cots, man. I appreciate it very much. And yeah, French Schooner out.